You're listening to the Holistic Lifestyle Guide podcast, the show that guides you on your holistic lifestyle journey to a healthy body, mind, and soul aligned with nature. Hello, and welcome to episode number 53 of the Holistic Lifestyle Guide podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about ways that you can live healthy on a budget. This is a really big obstacle for many people, of course, because when you think of healthy eating, you think of organic food, which is usually more expensive, and it's just very hard to be healthy on a budget. I admit this. And so I have made it part of my mission to find lots of ways that you can be healthy when you don't have a lot of money to spend. And this goes not only for diet, but also just other lifestyle habits. A lot of lifestyle habits go a long way in helping you to live healthier without needing to always buy everything organic. So, if you're living check to check and you want to be healthy, then this episode is for you. So, my entire business is designed to help people live healthy lifestyles, especially while on a budget, because I myself like to save money. And so, like I said, I've made it my mission to live a healthy, holistic lifestyle without spending a lot of money. In fact, many of the tips that I give are completely free. So let's get started. I'm going to separate these sections by physical health, mental health, and spiritual health, because if you are aware of my message, I talk about all three equally. All three are crucial for achieving true health. So let's get into the budget-friendly physical health tips. The first one is to get direct sunlight for 20 minutes every morning. So obviously there's no money required in this, just step outside. Direct sunlight means not through a window, not wearing sunscreen. Once you go over 20 minutes though, sunscreen is recommended. I prefer natural ones. That's your choice, of course. So why is sunlight so important in the morning? Not only does this help your skin produce enough vitamin D for the day, but it also helps to reset your circadian rhythm. Being close to this circadian rhythm, being as close to it as possible, this will also help with your sleep. So, you're probably wondering what happens if it's cloudy. Even if it's cloudy, you are still able to absorb sunlight through the clouds, just not as much, of course. So in this case, staying outside longer can work. If you live in the north where sunlight is lacking, or maybe it's too cold to stand outside for 20 minutes, you can sit near a window. You won't get the vitamin D, but you will stay on the circadian rhythm because the circadian rhythm works with your eyes. So if your eyes are detecting the light, that is what will help with that. You can also buy a sun lamp. There are some inexpensive ones out there. I bought a really cool sun lamp for, I believe it was under $70 on Amazon. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Like when I say a whole lot, I usually think of a couple $100s. So you do not need to spend that much if you want to buy a sun lamp. And those sun lamps are really good also for depression, especially seasonal affective disorder, so in the wintertime. So getting adequate sleep. This is also important. This is also free. And sleeping as close as you can to 8 hours is ideal, preferably between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. In the winter, when it's dark longer, you can easily get to bed by 10 p.m. unless you work late hours. That's a whole different subject. So if you cannot get to bed that early, try to be sleeping at least between the hours of 1 and 3 a.m. And the reason for that is because those are the hours when your liver is detoxing. It can do this much more efficiently when you are sleeping. So try to be sleeping at least between 1 and 3 a.m. if you can. The next tip here is to drink adequate amounts of spring water or filtered water. Buying water might not be an option for you since, of course, we're talking about living on a budget here. So you can get some inexpensive filters. They work good enough. I actually have a reverse osmosis filter that I got on clearance at a liquidator store, so it was heavily discounted. So If you have any stores like that, you can look for one there. If you do get reverse osmosis filter, keep in mind that it takes out all of the bad stuff and all of the good stuff too. So that means minerals. So if you do that, be sure to re-add your minerals. I use a very inexpensive bottle of minerals, but you can also sprinkle some Himalayan salt into your water. Just a small amount is good enough. And you won't even taste the salt when you drink it. But these trace minerals that I buy, very inexpensive for a bottle, and it lasts a long time. The next tip is to shop for groceries the smart way. So this is how you do it. Don't just go into any random grocery store. Most of them are higher priced than the ones that I suggest. So I do all of my grocery shopping at discount grocery stores such as Aldi, Trader Joe's, Costco, or Sam's Club. They're both very similar. And then there's also places that deliver. Misfits Market is a great one. I talk about them quite often. They have discount groceries because the products are slightly less than perfect. They're just fine though, and they're discounted and they're delivered right to you. So you don't have to spend a lot of money in groceries. I usually spend about $30 to $40 a week for me, just one person. So all of the stores that I mentioned have organic sections and they have a wide selection of produce. So if you don't have any of those stores near you, you can also buy in bulk, which saves a lot of money. Most stores have bulk sections, and most towns or cities will have natural food stores, and they will almost always have bulk sections. So items that work well for bulk include dried herbs and spices, rice, beans, nuts and seeds, and all of those foods are always in the diets that people recommend. All of the experts recommend, beans, nuts and seeds, of course, vegetables, herbs and spices, which are like the magic thing. You can make anything taste good with herbs and spices. You can also use coupons. Buying things on sale is always an option too. Of course, those two things take a little bit of time and research, but they're worth it. And another great way to save money on groceries is to grow your own food. This might not be possible for many people, but remember, you can grow herbs in small pots in your windowsill, if nothing else. A packet of seeds is usually under $2, and those seeds they can give you a lot of herbs for a couple years. The next tip I have for you for physical health is exercise, movement, stretching, and yoga. Those are all free ways to stay in shape. You don't need to go to a gym. You can go for a walk around your neighborhood. You can do yoga and stretching right on your living room floor. You can follow along with YouTube videos, which are, of course, free. Avoid sitting as much as possible throughout your day. That will go a long way. So like I said, you don't need an expensive gym membership. You can pick up some weights at discount stores, garage sales, thrift stores, things like that. So there are free ways to get your cardio workout as well, like dancing, jumping jacks, jogging. All of these things are free. Breathwork is also free. Breathwork helps your body and your mind. Deep rhythmic breathing helps to put you into the parasympathetic state, which is the state where your body can rest and digest, as opposed to the fight or flight mode. So that rounds out the physical tips. Now I'm going to move on to the budget-friendly mental health tips. The first one here is probably going to be obvious, and that is meditation. If you are in need of some guided meditations or instructions, it's all available for free on YouTube, or there's a website called Insight Timer that I absolutely love. This is a place for people that need guidance with meditation. So if you struggle with meditation, go to insighttimer.com. It's an app where you can listen to free meditations. Of course, YouTube's also free. And then the next tip that I have kind of goes along with meditation, and that is journaling. Journaling is great to do along with meditation, either before or after. Journaling is very inexpensive and it can be free if you just grab any piece of paper that you have laying around. The basic idea of it is to express yourself therapeutically. You can do this digitally through a program or an app. I even use Notepad, which is, it comes on almost every computer. You can also buy notebooks for $1 at the dollar store, things like that. There are journals for every budget. You don't need a fancy, expensive journal. I also sell printable journal pages in my Etsy shop. Most of these are aimed at a specific problem or subject, and most of them are in between $2 and $6, give or take. So if you're interested in checking out the ones that I create and sell in my Etsy shop, I will leave a link in the show notes so that you can check those out. The next tip for mental health is getting out in nature. This is free, of course. It does wonders for your body, mind, and your soul. If you live in a concrete jungle, such as downtown areas of a large city, or maybe you have to take public transportation to the nearest park, you might have to walk around and find places. But even if you can find one tree, that will help. So state parks and national parks both have certain dates each year where their entrance is free. I think they have like 3 or 4 days out of the year where you don't have to pay. But of course, if you can't travel to one of those, your local town park will do just fine. The next tip is personal development, personal growth, self-improvement, whatever you want to call it. It's good for your mind. It's also free. The internet is full of information on all of these subjects. You can also check out some books at the library. Libraries are a great free way to learn, so get to your local library. The next topic here is going to be spiritual health tips. So now I'm going to talk about ways that you can improve your spiritual health on a budget. So the first one is to establish and maintain a connection with a higher power of your choice. This is free. You can do this through many ways, like meditation, prayer, whatever works for you, contemplation, journaling, studying spiritual books and information. This is a great way to pass the time if you're looking for, something to do rather than watch TV. I haven't watched TV in probably a decade or more, other than, certain things, like if I'm at a friend's house or if I'm watching the weather, things like that. But when it comes to learning and education, I always focus on things that will help me grow as a person. And this is how you can improve your spiritual health. You can find these books in any library for free as well. Sometimes there's even free spiritual books online. The internet is basically, it's a never-ending source of free information. There's a lot of websites out there that freely give out information that you can learn, and it's almost as good as the information that you pay for. So the next tip here is to spend time in nature. So I've said this before, because nature helps your physical body, it helps your mental health, and of course your spiritual health. So you've probably heard me say this many times, but it's that important because nature heals. It heals your body, your mind, and your soul. Because connecting and aligning with nature is such a crucial part of being healthy, I actually have a PDF toolkit that contains all of the information that I know about how to do this. It's very inexpensive and includes a couple video lessons that I took from my online course. So I will put a link down below in the show notes for that, connecting to the nature PDF. It's kind of like a mini course, so think of it that way. So that will include everything you need if you're really interested in learning how to connect and align with nature. The next tip is to find your life purpose and live it. Studies have shown that those who are living their life purpose are actually healthier and happier. There are a few ways to live your life purpose, including volunteering, journaling, exploring your hobbies. There are lots of inexpensive hobbies out there, even ways to monetize your hobbies. So you can even earn money with your hobbies. This is this tends to be most people's life purpose, because most people don't want to go to a job that they hate. That is not a life purpose. So I'm a very strong advocate for building your own business, doing things that you love, making money with your hobbies. So I really hope that this episode has given you plenty of suggestions that will help on how to be healthy on a budget when you're trying to save money. As you've learned, there is a lot you can do for free or with very little money to keep your body, mind, and soul healthy. In fact, the basic fundamentals of health don't require a lot of money. That's the beauty of the basics. So if you like this information but you want to learn more, of course I can't go too deep into everything in this short episode, but I actually have a free video course that goes deeper into all of these subjects. It's delivered by email, so you sign up for that, and it will guide you through everything that I mentioned in this episode and go a little bit deeper as well. Because health doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. It all comes down to the basics, which are mostly free. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. A lot of people think in order to be healthy, you gotta spend a lot of money on healthy food. You have to go to the gym. You have to do a lot of expensive gadgets and things like that. It's not true. So sign up for that free course if you're interested to learn more. The link will be down below in the show notes. So everything is going to be easy for you. I guide you right through it. So thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support the podcast, please share it on social media or consider donating. If you want to keep up with everything I'm doing, you can find all the links at holisticlifestyleguide.com. Thank you again, and have a great week.